Welcome to our Fire A1 setup guide. The Fire A1 was designed from the very outset to be easy to install and commission for reliable use of smoke detection in large open areas, and can be used with both conventional and addressable installations. Look at everything we have in the box, and this is what you should have. A1 base, a Fire A1 detector head, a short-range mask, and a reflector. To get the best performance, let's tips on how to install it correctly. They are: 1. Make sure the device is always mounted onto a solid surface. 2. Never position the unit so that any objects can break the beam's line of sight. 3. Always keep a clear area of 0.5 meters around the unit. And lastly, always try to position the unit as high as possible, while still ensuring you keep more than 0.5 meters from the top of any ceilings. Remember, all installations should comply with local regulations. And when you can meet all of that criteria, you can then fix the base unit onto the wall. Connecting the unit. Is a low voltage supply, which should be connected here and here. This voltage needs to be between 14 volts and 36 volts DC. Fire rate panel. Now connect the Fire A1 to the fire panel. These connections are here and here. Resistors. You'll notice the alarm resistor for the unit is wired across these terminals, here, and the end-of-line device here. You must always ensure these components are the correct size and rating for your fire panel. Now, some fire panels don't require an alarm resistor, but will require a short between the two terminals here. Checks. It's time to check a few things before we move on. There are several setting switches that are preset at the factory, but under some circumstances may become altered during transit. Therefore, it's important to always take a moment to ensure that these are set up exactly as laid out here. As previously mentioned, check that your region's regulations require a resistor or a shorting wire. 3. As previously mentioned, it's important when fitting any detector that you always use the correct resistors as recommended by the manufacturer of your fire panel. Failure to do this may cause the unit to malfunction, so it's always a good idea to double check. So, once all of those items have been checked, we can fix the detector head onto the base unit. Make sure to plug the cable from the detector head into the connector on the base. Now, simply push and rotate the detector head clockwise until it locks into place. The next job is now to fit the reflector, ensuring it is directly opposite the unit and once again fitted onto a solid surface. Point out that the Fire A1 can use different combinations of reflectors dependent on the distance you want to be protected on reflector. So, if you're going to be fitting the Fire A1 over distances longer than 50 meters, you'll need to order extra reflectors. So, now we have everything fixed, wired and ready, it's time to set the unit up, and it couldn't be easier. To turn the laser on, move the slide switch to the left. After a few seconds, you'll notice a red laser appear on the opposite wall. Use the direction keys on the base to move the laser point onto the reflector. It's not critical that the laser must be in the very middle, but it should be close. Once you're happy that you've targeted the Fire A1 correctly, simply move the slide switch to the right and wait for the unit to automatically align. You'll know when it's done when you hear the unit make a small click, and the green light will flash for 10 seconds. This should take no more than a minute. The green light on the underside of the reflector will now flash green once every 10 seconds to show that the system is operational. And when that's finished, simply fix the door of the base back on and you're ready to go. To check that the Fire A1 operates and alarms in a fault and fire condition, we need to carry out a couple of simple tests, which are: to simulate a fire condition over 3/4 of the reflector with a non-reflective material and wait for the indicator light on the bottom of the unit to flash red. To simulate a fault condition, cover over the full reflector and wait for the indicator light on the bottom of the unit to flash amber. When the tests have been carried out, the fire ray 1 will reset and the indicator light on the bottom of the unit will flash green. The fire panel should show fire and fault when the fire ray 1 is being tested for these conditions. And that's about it. It really couldn't be easier. We hope that you've enjoyed watching this quick setup guide, and thank you for choosing FFE for your detection requirements.